Most of us want to speak about our worries. But, to whom? Whenever you say that you are in pressure, the listener will come up with his/her pressures. When you say that my life is miserable, the listener will say that her/his life is more miserable than you. If you say that you are not well, the listener will reply saying me too. If you say your uncle got into an accident yesterday, then the listener shall reply telling, last month his brother-in-law had an accident too. It's like a competition between worries, burden and tension. It reminds me the story of Horegallu, which I had read from the book of noted writer, Sudha Murti. Horegallu is a stone bench where someone can take rest, catch breaths, drink some water, talk with some fellow villagers and move forward in their journey further. My grandfather was a retired school teacher. He would spend hours every day sitting there and talking to the travelers who would be resting. Most of the travelers would be villagers taking a break from their work in the field nearby. They had to walk long distance carrying heavy burdens on their head. Tired by the heat, they would drink the cool water, wash their face with it and chat with my grandfather. Mainly the conversation would be about their daily lives and worries.
Master Ji, isn't this summer too hot?
Yes, it is.
I have never seen such a dry weather. I wish my son would help me. He only wants to go to the city.
Villagers used to speak about their difficulties they lived with. Grandfather could listen to them, but just talking to him seemed to refresh them for their journey. After some time they would pick up their burdens with some ease and go on their ways.
Grandfather, what are you doing here? Why are you talking to these villagers every day?
This Horegallu is an important feature in their life. It is not only just a stone bench. Child, a Horegallu is essential in any journey. We all carry our burdens according to our situation and capacities. But every once in a while we need to stop, put down our burden and rest. Only then can we be refreshed enough to pick up the load once more. The Horegallu gives everyone the energy to do so. It helps people to regain their strengths.
Later on in life, I got to see something that reminded me of that stone bench once again. I was working in Bombay. One of my colleague Ratna. She was a senior clerk, middle-aged and always used to smile. She was working here since last 25 years. She went about her repetitive, mundane work with an infectious cheerfulness. Every day, during the lunch hour she would sit with some person in one of the rooms and they would have long chats. I would often wonder what they talked about. Ratna, what do you talk with each person for the whole lunch hour?
I just smile. They share their troubles with me.
But how can you solve the troubles of so many people? Do you always have answers for them?
No, I only listen.
And is that enough? Does that solve their problem?
I am not a trained counselor, or an intellectual. No one can solve your problem. You have to do it yourself.
Then how do you help them? By only listening.
God has given me 2 ears to listen to others. I hear them out with sympathy and without any judgment. When a person is in trouble or under a lot of strain, he finds an outlet for his worries, thus listening releases half of their burden.
But don't you ever break the confidence and tell others the secrets you hear, even by mistake?
Not even in my dreams. I consider that to be the worst kind of betrayal. I don't think there is a greater sin than betraying confidence. They tell me their worries because they know that I will never talk about it or gossip about it to another person. Only when they know their words are secure with me, then only they are able to talk to me freely. This way I relieve their burden for a short while till they are ready to pick themselves up and carry on with their journey.
This reminds me of my grandfather, sitting under the banyan tree on a Horegallu, and Ratna in this office doing the same job. Perhaps, in their small ways without accessing the great wealth, these people are doing tremendous social service. No one ever thought to acknowledge their work or rewarding them for their hard work. But they continue to do so, as these acts of kindness gave them joy. Can we try to be like my grandfather, or Ratna, and be a good listener to someone in need for a friend, and vent out his/her worry?